Today we'll be reading an Oxford Reading Tree book from the Story Sparks called Aunty Cake. Let's take a look at a few of the difficult words we might find in this book. Caught red-handed. This means that you are seen doing something wrong, such as, he was caught red-handed taking a cookie from the cookie jar. Receipt. This is a written note to show something has been paid for. I got a receipt after I paid for the chocolate in the shop. Apology. This means saying sorry for something. I owe you an apology for hurting your finger in the door. The title, or in other words, name of this book is Aunty Cake. And the author, the person who wrote this book, is Ross Asquith. Aunty Cake loved having parties. You may be wondering why she was called Aunty Cake. Perhaps she looked like a cake? Well, no. Look, it was because of her wonderful cakes. Aunty Cake baked delicious cakes. She was also very kind and very, very forgetful. On Monday, it was cold, but she forgot her hat and her gloves. Tuesday was wet, but she couldn't find her umbrella. On windy Wednesday, she could not see her scarf anywhere. The rain on Thursday was terrible. It was cold and the wind was howling. Poor Aunty Cake couldn't find her umbrella, her scarf, or her gloves. But she did have her hat. The wind blew her hat along the street, over the hedge, into the park, and up into a cherry tree. Whoosh! Aunty Cake shook the branches of the tree. Ripe cherries tumbled down all over her. The cherries fell into her pockets and hung from her buttons. When at last her hat came down, it looked quite amazing. Please don't pick the fruit, a stern voice growled. Oh, said Aunty Cake, I wasn't. It's just that the wind, my hat, the cherries. The police officer didn't let her explain. What is your name and address? She asked. My name is Aunty Cake. But Aunty Cake was so flustered that she forgot her address. A crowd gathered. Aunty Cake! That's not a proper name, said a girl in pearls. She's a cherry thief, shouted a mean lady in green. Poor Aunty Cake said nothing. No, wait, called out a small boy with a big smile. She is Aunty Cake, and she wouldn't steal anything. She gives things to people. She even makes the cakes for our football matches. If Aunty Cake is a thief, then I am a penguin, joked the boy's dad. Oh, really? Sorry, madam, said the police officer. Aunty Cake followed the boy and his dad. Thank you very much, she said. I don't think I know you, do I? Yes, have you forgotten? Said the small boy with a big smile. You used to read stories to me when I was in hospital, and you help the children at the school where my mum teaches. We've often seen you planting flowers in the park, his dad added. Oh, yes, that's me, chuckled Auntie Cake. But I'm afraid I'm rather bad at remembering faces. Sometimes I get a bit of a surprise when I see my own face in the mirror. At this, the boy's big smile turned into a huge, happy laugh. The next day was Friday. It was fine and sunny. Auntie Cake wore her hat and scarf and popped her gloves in her pocket, just in case. She was dreaming about an idea for a party. She went to the market and filled her basket with cherries. Next, she bought a mountain of strawberries. But she had forgotten her other basket, so she filled her hat with the strawberries and set off for home. On the way home, she bumped into the police officer. The very same one. Caught red-handed, the police officer said. Holding all that fruit had given Auntie Cake very red hands. But that wasn't what the police officer meant. I'm not a thief, said Auntie Cake. I paid for all this fruit. Here is the receipt to prove it. But she had forgotten the receipt. Auntie Cake looked around and saw the girl in pearls and the mean lady in green. You've done it again, they moaned. Poor Auntie Cake. All she wanted to do was bake. I bought the cherries and the strawberries, she gulped. Ask the lady at the market. She'll tell you that I paid for them. A tear ran down her cheek, but of course she had forgotten her hanky. Just then, the boy with the big smile ran up. He was waving something. It was the receipt, the mean lady in green muttered. Sorry, and gave Auntie Cake a tissue. The girl in pearls blushed. The police officer crossed out the notes in her notebook. We were wrong, I can see, she admitted. We all owe you an apology. Oh, that's all right, smiled Auntie Cake. Please, let's start again. Come to my house for a party this evening. So they all went to Auntie Cake's party. They ate cherry cake and strawberry shortbread and swapped stories about being forgetful. And none of them ever forgot the kind Auntie Cake or her wonderful, delicious cakes.